the week after the preliminary final. It's a very good morning from Newcastle, number one sports ground in West Newcastle, on a glorious July day here in Australia's most beautiful city. David Redden with you flying solo today, and looking forward to calling Newcastle City and Port Stephens in this AFL HSC women's competition match. We're starting in about 3 or 4 minutes' time at midday. For Newcastle City, straight into the teams. Number 1, Sally Kodaya. Number 2, Taylor Wiggins. 4, Taylor Joyce. 9, Megan McDonald, the Rolls Royce. 11, Crystal Gavanlock. 12, Anna Ralston. 13, Catherine Stellmaker. 16, Rosen Ronan Yates. 18, Kirsty Ferguson. 19, Simone Wood. Sophie Hoffman, 21. Ashley Bacales, 22. Caitlin Holcomb, 23. Skipper Casey Escott, 25. Not Escott, Eacott, David. Hannah Murdoch, 26. Anne-Marie Peacock, 27. Maddie Norton, 28. Melanie Edwards, 29. And another prime mover, Sarah Halverson, 30. Port Stephens, number 1, Carla Pennicott. Number 5, Cheyenne Yu. Number 6, a late in, Danielle McLeod. Number 8, Natasha Terranova. Number 11, Samantha Ferner. Number 16, Amanda Cherry. 21, Melanate Lungy. 22 is Justine Hurahan. 23, Josie Johnson. 38, Nicole Morgan. Hannah Graham's moved into number 40. Shakira Jobson, 42. Leonie Reid, 44. Mihaela Seminova, 45. Gabrielle Fitzsimmons, 46. And in 13 is Stevie Wilkinson. As I said, a big cheer out of Lucas Holmes, who's umpiring Wallsend West Newcastle and Warner's base plate game at 2 p.m. today. So it's just about our EP, Kendall Clausen, and me with you. He's flying solo. Looking forward to that. Need some strepsils at the end of the day, I would suggest. A big cheer out also to the Newcastle City women's side, in particular Kirsty Ferguson and Megan McDonald. I had a bit of a problem with my vehicle earlier. It's still actually stuck in some sand. They tried to help me very much, and they asked me to give me a cheerio. So cheerio, thank you very much for your help. I really appreciate it. And hopefully I can get the vehicle out later on, but very kind of you to assist. Look, what do we expect here? Newcastle City rolling along nicely in the 6th. They'll make the top 6 comfortably. Port Stephens struggling along, second year in the competition. Newcastle City firm favourites, but looking forward to seeing how Port Stephens go about it. Conditions, it is gorgeous. It's a touch cloudy, as you can see in the background on Kendall's camera, looking over towards my beloved Stocko and the Hunter River. No wind at all, ground in very good nick. On the far left-hand side of screen, you can see the covers that they've had out on the square here, meaning that the square's got a little bit green, which is nice and tacky, not too hard. Ground really in superb condition, and when you consider how bad the Corellas and Cockies had this ground during cricket season, it's a testament to the council to get it that they've got it looking so good. Of course, grand final being played here on September 7. Looking forward to that very much. Still haven't got total finalisation of the finals venues for you. We have to give those to you very, very soon. And also tomorrow, it's a double-header. Kendall, myself and Sam Zickman coming to you from Pasterfield Complex in Cameron Park for the Social Comp Grand Final. 5 to 3 will be on air. Kendall, myself and Sam. And looking forward to calling Hunter Masters and Turrigalavoca in the Social GF tomorrow at Pasterfield. Of course, later on today, we've got the blockbuster clash between Newcastle City and Cardiff in the Black Diamond Cup. Looking forward to that very, very much as well. Interesting to see how Cardiff go about it. Struggling last week, got beaten by Singleton up there at Rose Point Park. And they've got to come back and come back hard. Newcastle City flying along there, looking firmly at a preliminary final spot, and of course that crucial week off in the finals. Really interesting to see how they go. Of course, Cardiff spent many years here as a co-tenant to Newcastle and won, so they know the ground intimately. Really looking forward to that later on. Our umpires today in the women's competition game between City and Port Stephens. Field umpires Isaac Stokes, Kate Handley and Isaac Cruikshank. Boundary umpires Jake Bruce and Finn Flanagan. Yeah. And in goals Shane Lowndes and our mate Stats Baldwin, the great man. Just about ready to get going here. It's 11:59. We're going at about 65 seconds. Teams have broken up now and gained their positions. Both teams in dark colours. Port Stephens basically playing Port Adelaide colours with white on the back. That's going to help. And of course, Newcastle City in the traditional Carlton colours, navy blue all the way through with white numbers. Interesting to see Sarah Halverson onto the ball there. I'd imagine she's ruck roving with Ralston to do the ruck work. And over there as well, it looks like Hannah Graham has just started playing the game. Big, tall lady, and will make a big contest for the experienced Ralston in the ruck. Ralston will presumably change with Kirsty Ferguson. Rock and roll time, away we go. AFL HSC women's competition, away we go. Graham gets a left hand of that. Pennicott in and under straight away. Tackled immediately. Over there to Simeonova. Pennicott gets the first kick of the game. Echo over his shoulder. Newcastle City in front. Who's at ground level? Couldn't stop that kick going forward. Port Stephens get the first inside 50. That's almost a push in the back. Not paid against Ecott. Handball comes out. City got defensive plays everywhere. Ronan Yates, usually very composed, representative player, comes wide down a combox flank. Finds Megan McDonald. Good tackle. No, it's not actually McDonald. That's Gavin Locke over there in 11. There's Ronan Yates coming to lead support. Ball out of bounds. You can see that superb electronic scoreboard in the background. Newcastle City have purchased that. It's so easy to read. It makes it so easy for everybody at the ground. Ruck contest, half forward flank for Port Stephens. Graham at the back. Ralston gets that down double-handed. Over the shoulder, I think. Yep. Paid to Murdoch. Half-back flank for Newcastle City. Very clears the mark. Comes wide. Superb pass finds Megan McDonald, the Rolls Royce on centre wing. Megan goes inside. Lovely spot and gets Ralston right in the... almost on centre wing, just defensive side. Graham on the mark. Ralston a one-hand drop. Should be a mark in front. Missed. Play on, missed by McCarles. There's a chest mark. Should have been taken. Handball comes out, dubious. Halverson straight through the guts. McDonald's in space, and that's dangerous. She's got time. She can even have a bounce almost. We'll step inside here. Watch her go about it. Squares it to the hot spot. First punched out by Ferguson. She'll look for a handball out. Gets it. Comes out there to McCarles. Another wide handball. Coming out to Wiggins. Can she pick it up? Not yet. Pressured by Fitzsimmons. Gets a handball out just. Ferguson needs to get the handball. Is Kirsty going to swing on? No, goes to the handball again. Wiggins beats a tackle. Comes back at it. Good tackle. She's in trouble. Should be holding the ball. Not paid. Good work, Port Stephens. Deep in attack for City. Ferguson's going to go up here. She'll look to hit McDonald or Wiggins going defensively, I would imagine, to open up the play. Watch her try and tap this over the shoulder. Goes backwards right to Wiggins as predicted. Rubber kick. Comes out. Out there to Johnson. Wiggins again, another posse. Tackled immediately. Again at the back is Johnson. She's got to get rid of it. Does. And is that holding the ball? Paid to Wiggins. Obviously the disposal wasn't legal. And Wiggins has got a free kick. Point blank, well, not point blank. 15 metres out. Almost dead in front. Very little angle to work with here for Wiggins. Arches the back. Gets a run up going. And kicks the first goal of the game. First goal, Wiggins. Newcastle City, 1 straight 6. Port Stephens yet to score. We've got 3 minutes here in the first quarter with thanks to our sponsors, Central Coast Physiotherapy, Bar TV, making your game the main game, Subway Morisset, and Tyre Power, supporters of umpires across Australia. Back to the centre, Ralston back into the guts with Halverson there, right on screen, being marked up there by, that might be Reid, is it? It is. Marking up at Halverson. That's an interesting matchup for Reid. Of course, Halverson and McDonald spending time as part of the Giants setup this year. Umpire Handley with the football. Low throw suits Graham. Lovely left hand out. Got time, comes in through the handball. Got to get rid of it, Stellmaker does. Coming through with that, almost holding the ball, I thought. How's she disposed of that, Joyce? Graham bending over now. Tackle by Ralston. Halverson in and under. Socket away. Over here comes Reed leading the way. Someone should put a shepherd on. Does. Reed steps inside. Well done. Gets it inside 50. Beautifully read, however. Norton. Thumps it down to centre wing. Perfect pass over there to the talented Joyce. Onto a left foot. Halverson in space. Danger. What's Sarah going to do? Short pass. Not too bad. Just falls at the feet. Bacalus in 22 picks it up now. Just gets a handball away. Umpire says play on. Good call. Good tackle made by Wood. Johnson's got to get rid of it. Does with a legal handball. Out here coming to Morgan. Good contest provided. In there's Gavenlock in 11. McDonald turns the corner. Beats one. Short pass. Not really directed overly brilliant. Ferguson off the ground. Wood has it airy, like Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago. And Ferguson puts a tackle on. We've got 5 minutes in the first quarter. City up by one straight kick. Ferguson's up, so is Graham, although I don't have a 49 on my sheet. That's interesting. Out there, that comes from Ferguson. Taps the ball out. 49 is Rhiannon Wares. So Wares and 49. Umpire will call this up. Dangerous position for Newcastle City. Wares and Ferguson in the ruck. Ferguson want to put a body on the line here and tap it down with Wares. She does. Gets it, goes defensive, opens up the play. Joyce on a natural left. Does the dipsy doodle, turns around. Handball interceptor. Well done, Graham. Port Stevens come to play today. They're having a crack straight through the centre. Kicks that ball straight back down the line. McDonald, second grab, gets it. Lovely handball, Joyce. 15-metre kick out to McCullers, who lumbers after it. Even contest. Well done, Port Stevens again. As I said, they've had a crack this morning. Murdoch. Umpire says, that's mine, thank you. So this time McCullers is up, along with Wares. Wares gets that down. Big thump to Pennicott. Kicks it along. She gets a good purchase on that, actually. Really well done. Maddie Norton's out there. Holcomb's running past her in 23. Good Shepherd Holcomb. Disputed possession here. Can they get it to Joyce, who's free? They do eventually. Joyce with a left foot. Misses everybody. McDonald sniping. Can she get there first? She can. Turns around. Now she turns back into trouble and is gone. Very good persistence there, but Megan McDonald trying to do too much. Good tackle. Morgan gets the free kick. Thumps it out Combox side. Gets under it a bit. Joyce, good overhead mark. Graham's got to let it go. Joyce, one-handed drop. Perfect pass. And finds Hannah Murdoch too far out to score. Short pass going on there. There is the lead. Ferguson stays out. Good unselfish play. Wood should kick it. Hits the post, I reckon. Just waiting. Or did she kick that? I lost sight of it, and it is actually a goal. Well done, Simone Wood. Newcastle City's second goal. Number 19. Newcastle City's 2 straight 12. Port Stevens yet to score. With thanks to our major sponsor, Hannah Haval at East Maitland and Brian Hilton Haval at North Gosford. Kendall Corson and David Redden here with you all day. Of course, make sure you tune in at 1:55 for the blockbuster clash, Newcastle City and Cardiff in the Black Diamond Cup. For mine, a massive test of Cardiff's treadability. Let's see how good they really are under pressure. Ralston and Graham. Graham's been doing well in these contests. Gets out with a left hand. Joyce puts an immediate tackle on, no prior. Umpire says that's mine, thank you. Tackle was made on Simeonova. Well done, Ralston. Puts that body in. Gets Hannah Graham out the way. Joyce sitting, loitering. Out there, that comes from Wiggins. Tackle put on by Wood. Halverson under close quarters. Good bump. Really good use of the body by Port Stevens. They get it out wide. Over there towards Cheyenne New, the representative player from Port Stevens. Cheyenne gets a good perch on that. Goes 50 metres. Wonderful half volley from Lungy. Superb pickup. Holcomb's in there in 23. So is Maddie Norton, one of the league's better centre half backs. Got to get rid of it. She's in trouble. And umpire says that'll be mine after Joyce tried to do a bit of tunnel ball work. Ralston and Graham. Graham give that one to just Simeon over in 45. Good tackle. Pennicott gets another kick. She's got about 4 or 5 this quarter. Holcomb leading the way. He's got a chance to pick this up and launching an attack across half-back. Thumps it straight down the spine. Who's going to get the football? McDonald gets a shocking bounce. Good Shepherd McDonald off to a Halverson. Perfect handball Holcomb. Comes down the wing. Good contest again. Oh, they should be pushing the back, not Bain. Another kick to Morgan. Norton chasing hard. She's got a yard. Let's see how she goes about it. Takes her time, puts a yard of speed on. Straight down the combox side. Morgan should have chest marked that. Missed it. Can they make a pay? Holcomb. Defensive handball from Morgan. Holcomb waiting to put a tackle on. Does. That's a one-hand handball, ball out of bounds, centre wing. Right in front of us here in commentary. About 9 3/4 minutes gone. First quarter. Newcastle #1 sports ground. Port Stephens and Newcastle City here on Bar TV. Well done, Graham. She's going very well on the ruck, especially doing well for a new player. Pennicott, her 5th or 6th kick. If you're at #1 sports ground today, Newcastle City is running a massive raffle. Go down to the white tent just to the edge of the score box, and they're running a raffle. The first and second and third prize of which are cars. The first prize is a Kluger. Again, get along, buy some raffle tickets and support the club. Halverson puts a tackle on, no prior. Just gone halfway through the first quarter. Port Stephens defending well. Graham's got to get rid of it. I didn't think. Out there comes some Murdoch, straight down the line. And Megan McDonald takes a very clever chest mark right in front of that tent there. Steps inside, goes square. Again, who's going to get this one? Good tackle by Joyce. Norton should turn around, needs a Shepherd, gets it. That's that little Shepherd did wonders. Ferguson's in there sniping. He's Kirsty now. Can she get on the right foot? Gets a handball away. Good tackle, Ferguson. Very heavy. Wiggins. Another chance. Can she get on the right foot? Puts a step on. Gets a handball away. Almost holding the ball, I thought. Wood again. Looking for Wiggins again. Short kick. It's all Port Stephens back there. At the moment, error made. Had to be an urgent soccer come out. Morgan's under pressure here. Gets a kick away. Well done, although gets it to Joyce. Joyce can kick that, don't worry. And kicks are behind. First behind of the day. Newcastle City 2-1-13. And Port Stephens yet to score. 11 1/4 minutes gone, quarter #1. Kick comes out. Falls at the feet of Johnson. She's just fallen straight over that. Megan McDonald's got a tackle on. She's in trouble. And gone. Good decision. McDonald put on an effective tackle. The ball wasn't disposed of. Now, Megan McDonald, who is a sharpshooter, she's not without a chance, but she's going to go square most unselfishly to Bacallos, who has buttery fingers again. Out there trying to get it to Wiggins. Wiggins goes short. Well done, Port Stephens. They've got a lot of players back at the moment. And Bacallos does take a mark this time over her head. I would have thought pushing it for distance from there. Looking at the naked eye, she's about 35, 38 out. Need to have rovers and tall players. I think Ferguson's up there in the square. Bacallos gets a decent bit of it, falls right edges. Ferguson! Almost an overhead mark from Fergo. Simeon over, Shepherd smothered brilliantly. Chance there for Kodire. And out of bounds, deep in the pocket. No Kiara Lamb and no Molly Simpson today for Newcastle City. Ferguson up as his wears. Over the back. Ferguson gets the ball. Handball's out. Graham, another handball. Joyce is on a wrong side. Right hand handball goes forward. Murdoch in the middle of... Oh, brilliant! Finish it, Joyce! That's so clever. 1-2 handball. Taylor Joyce, a very clever goal. So, Newcastle City 3-1-19. Port Stephens yet to score. With thanks to the Belmont 16-footers, home of the Elliot Davey Medal night on the 4th of September and the home of the AFL HCC. Find them on Facebook or at 16s.com.au. Belmont 16-footers, a great spot. The great man, Aaron Wivel's on his way to the ground, playing first grade today, star cricketer and footballer of the Cardiff Footy Club. Hello, Wiv, how are you, mate? Good to see you. Good to see you post Joey Price during the week. Out from Halverson. Can't pick it up. No, can't either. Buttery fingers. Pennicott goes in and under. Good to see you, great man. How are you, Wiv? Ball goes forward. Ecott with McLeod. Now, Ecott's got to go through this very calmly. Almost a push to the back, I reckon. And not paid. And we look forward to seeing Aaron Wivel in his usual spot on the half-forward line today. Yeah, after a few goals, the great man. Good friend of Bar TV. Oh, got a chance at a goal! Just off to the side. Port Stephens, one behind. Newcastle City, 3-1-19. Rosen running Yates has got Halverson free, and she goes directly to the star. Halverson goes down low and takes a mark in front of Reed. Halverson gets a three-quarter wedge to that, looks to McDonald, although Holcomb comes in. Chance for Holcomb. She's got time and space. Often a danger. Straight off the bench comes Gavin Locke. Got to get rid of it. Does. Newcastle City 2-1. Can they get free that Matty Norton on the side? No, they can't. McCarles comes in now, puts her head over the football, and a push to the back to McCarles. Again, put her head over the football, gets the free kick. That can't be a Port Stephens kick. Give me a break. Thank you. McCarles goes long. Oh, good spot. Finds Stillmaker. Diminutive but talented. Ferguson's on her own. That's a superb smother. Ferguson's still on her own. Can Stillmaker get her? No, she goes square at Joyce. Very good play, Stillmaker. And Joyce has got a chance at her second goal in 3 minutes. She will get the distance, Joyce. She can let him go when she wants to. And I reckon that's just gone over the hands of all of those players and has. Another goal, Joyce. Newcastle City 4-1-25. Port Stephens, one behind. With thanks to ISC, who are the official apparel outlet of the AFL HCC. Great gear they make, ISC. And all of our clubs are heavily involved with that. That wonderful company provides superb clothing for all of us, and including us commentators. Bacala's has changed in. No, that's not Bacala's. Graham and actually Edwards when he had that ruck. So Halverson's gone to centre half. No, that was Holcomb at centre half back. Lovely mark over there. There's McDonald's away. The Rolls Royce, away she goes. Short pass. Ferguson just misses. Fergo needs to kick that to Stillmaker. Can't get it to her. Goes wide. Even mark contest here. Here's crash ball coming. Joyce. Noticeable that red head. Here's another red head in Rosen Yates. Very balanced and accomplished. Oh, has a bounce. Love it. One bounce run in Yates. Looks to McDonald. McDonald will wheel around along with Cheyenne New. There's two. Great tackle. McDonald gone. Oh, sir. I thought she had an opportunity there, but not called. McDonald had a chance at the second successful tackle in the quarter. Not paid. Edwards, off 2 feet, gets it to Halverson, who immediately gets to McDonald, sniping down the flank. New shepherded out of it, smothered brilliantly by Halverson. Edwards tries to grab it, does. Back here to Wood. He'll go again to McDonald. He'll go back to Wood. Eventually gets a kick and hits it towards the hot spot. Ferguson comes from behind, gets the ball to a crash point. Over here's Peacock. Gets it wide again. Stellmaker. Wide again. Over towards Gavinlock. Simeonova's got a chance at a kick. He can't pick it up. A lot of butchy fingers there. And what is a beautiful day for football. Gavinlock. Over the shoulder, I thought. Hanley was going to pay that. Murdoch. Gavinlock. Smothered. No, that's Bacala's actually. Drop kicks that one actually. Chance off the ground if they can stay composed. Halverson's a chance. No, misses to the side. Newcastle City 4-2-26. Joseph O'Brien in a sling. Goodness me, you'll have to have a chat with Joey later on. Great to see the great man here. Surely that's not a football injury, Joseph. It is, gracious me. We'll get you on the microphone later, my friend. Joe O'Brien, of course, umpiring so brilliantly in Sydney and part of the NEFL setup. And I did an interview with Joe Leon this year. It was most enjoyable. And still doing physiotherapy at the University of Newcastle. He's got a busy life and doing a great job in all the things he does, studying and as he's become an elite umpire. Great to see our local blokes look so well. Reed drops a mark over her head. Good tackle on Petticoat. She's in trouble. Umpire Henley, yeah, I reckon that's a pretty good decision. Wasn't much prior there. Ferguson in this one with Wares. Looking for Wiggins. No, she gets it over to Wood. Simming over and Wood. Wood's got to stay on her feet. The ball's in contest. They've both got hands on it. Umpire Henley says, that's mine, thank you. About 19 minutes gone, quarter number 1. Newcastle number 1 sports ground in West Newcastle. Brilliant tap, Ferguson down to Peacock. No one can get a kick. Ferguson shepherding herself almost. Over the shoulder. Ducked ahead, obviously, Pennicott. Ferguson making a real contest of this. Gee, that tackle's gone a long time. Play on, Peacock. I think Ferguson's running what went on. Here comes Halverson. That's dangerous. Nutmegs her. Ronan Yates, she's usually a good user of the footy. Goes wide. Halverson running to space. Steps inside. Left-hand handball. Ronan Yates just took her eyes off the footy. Steps inside Murdoch. Squares it up. Where are the Rovers? Morgan's over there. Goes to the soccer tactics. It's desperations for the power, but they're doing enough. Goss smothered. And Wiggins. Where's that ball going to roll? Goal, Newcastle City. Newcastle City, 5-2-32. Just the amount of football they had. Port Stephens one behind. Very close to the end of the first quarter here. It's interesting when you commentate your own, your voice after a while, you just think, gee, I'm looking forward to a quarter-time break for a quick respite. And there is quarter time. So at the end of the first quarter, Newcastle City 5-2-32. Port Stephens one behind. We'll be back with you shortly for the commencement of the second quarter here at Newcastle number 1 sports ground. Okay, just come back a bit early. A special guest on the microphone, Joseph O'Brien. Joey O'Brien, of course, one of our elite umpires in the area who's progressed down umpiring in Sydney. And I've just spotted him at the ground here with his left arm on his thing. Joey, welcome first of all to Bar TV.
Thanks, Dave.
And second, talk us through what's happened, brother. What's going on?
So I've just done my AC joint, so only a little grade one joint sprain, which is lucky, but managed to do it in the first 10 seconds of my game in Sydney last week.
Gracious me. Having had AC problems myself, I can sympathise with you. And how long do you think it'll be before you're out on the field actually? A couple of weeks?
Hopefully 3 weeks, yeah, that's the aim. So obviously about 5 weeks, I think, until AFL Sydney finals. So hopefully if I'm back by then, I'll be pretty happy.
And everybody, it's Joey's left shoulder that's done. You're able to type and do uni work?
Yeah, I'm right-handed, so picked the good side to do. But yeah, no, it should be fine. Otherwise, got a fair bit of movement back in it over the last week, so no complaints.
And it wasn't some hulking 140 kilogram bullhead that got you. It's just a complete accident.
Yeah, just my own inability to keep my feet, so I can't really put any blame on the players. That's for sure.
Good to see, mate. Well, all of us wish you all the best and a very quick recovery, my friend.
Thanks, Dave.
How are things going since we spoke to you on the interview, which we thank you for, by the way? Things going well for you up until that point with your umpiring? You've been happy and your peers and your managers are happy? Yeah,
really happy. So I've been pretty lucky to have a fair bit of NAFL footy this year. So I've had 5 games for the season so far, which is more than I would ever expect as a rookie listed umpire. So really good opportunity. Had a trip to Darwin as well and a trip to Canberra. So I've had some great exposure to travelling and what I guess the NAFL and the AFL umpires do in terms of travelling all around the states and countries. So yeah, really good experience, and definitely enjoying it.
I hope you didn't do Darwin and Canberra in successive weekends, because there's a bit of a temperature
I
difference.
did actually.
Oh,
Yeah, I had Darwin.
What was first, Darwin?
Darwin was first, and that was 30 degrees temperature, and then Canberra was 7 degrees, 60 km/h winds, and the apparent temperature was minus 2.2. So it was complete opposites.
Was that at Tuggeranong or Manuka?
Manuka.
Okay. Yeah, that ground, I've spent a lot of time at Manuka with being a Giants fan, but the ground at Marara and Darwin looks like a superb setup. I've watched a couple of football games this year, and that looks like a great setup. Nice ground. It's big, though.
It's a big ground, but it's beautiful to run on. It was we actually lucked it in terms of the temperature. It was a 6:30 p.m. game, NT versus Swans, and yeah, really nice deck to run on. Nice and easy on the legs, nice and open, which is always good for the players to have room to move, and for us to move as well. But yeah, no complaints.
No cricket block at Marara either, which also makes
no, yeah, that helps when you can't get your feet like I can't.
Although, of course, Manuka, one of the things when you watch umpiring at Manuka is that when you bounce the wicket's so hard, the ball bounces high. The ruckman have actually got to adjust their run when the ball's being bounced. It's something I've picked up.
Yeah, absolutely. Manuka was we're actually off the cricket pitch.
Right, okay.
I think that's just the normal standard protocol at Manuka. They like to keep the pitch good for cricket season and for the AFL games, but even off the pitch, the ground was really firm, which was great because still got plenty of height to bounce.
Very good. Mate, thank you for your time. Look, all of us wish you. It's such a shock to see an umpire with such an injury like that. Seriously, good luck with the rest of the season with your recuperation, with your studies at the University of Newcastle as well. I know that they're getting into an interesting stage for you. And look, you're a real credit to yourself. Thanks for speaking to us, and you've done superbly well. And look, it'd be great to track your career throughout football in the next 5 or 10 years. Hopefully, you can continue on. But you're a credit to yourself, and thanks for talking to us.
Thanks very much, Dave. Looking forward to the day's footy.
Righto, mate. Thanks, pal. Good man. Great to speak to Joseph O'Brien there. We thank him for his time. And again, as I said, sincerely wish him all the best with his recuperation from that, what he says is a grade 1 AC. Real shock to see Joey over there in a sling, I'm telling you. Back to the centre, rock and roll time. Ralston and Graham. I was impressed with Graham in the first quarter. She's done some good work. This one was Ralston. Simeon over, got a few kicks last time we saw her at Terrigalavoca. Holcomb, who's been very composed at her right half-back flank. Goes wide looking for Stelmaker. Again, diminutive but talented. Picks it up now. Double-handed drop. Good kick. Looks for Wood. Good defence there from Fitzsimmons. And I must admit, I thought Port Stevens' defensive work in the first quarter was actually pretty good. Tackled hard, did the best they could. Didn't have many options up forward, but they had a real crack. Ralston and Wares. Walston's got the sit here. Tried to grab it almost, I think. Halverson. Always closely marked is Halverson. And in fact, too closely checked that time. Didn't have the football. Off one step. Short pass. Can't hit Wood. And out of bounds over there towards the cricket side screen. Well, remind me, at one stage, and I'll try and get Lucas home to get me remind you. I'll tell you a story about those side screens one day. It's a fascinating story about when they were created. Goodness me, that barbecue smells. McDonald lets the ball bounce as she has to. Bacale's out. Lovely handball. Halverson's got a chance in that pocket. Halverson skews it out wide. That ball's need to stay in. Oh, yeah, must have gone just out. Umpire in a perfect position. There's the score on the left, 32-1, 5-2 to 1 point. Ferguson, as she's usual, directing traffic. Watch her try and get McDonald here. Trying to get it to Megan. Out there, Stelmaker. Simeonova extracts it. Gets a 5-metre kick out. That's legit. Should go back with a handball. Gavenlock. Back to Wiggins. Can she get purchased? No. Little 10-metre grubber. Handball comes out. McDonald on her right. She's a chance from there, Megan. Look out! Lovely finish, Megan McDonald, as you would expect from a class act. And McDonald, yet another goal. Newcastle City 6-2-38. Port Stevens one behind, and man, I've got to tell you, that barbecue smelling sensational here. Might have to go and acquaint myself with some of those products at halftime. With thanks to our sponsors, Awards Are Us. They do a great job. They had to put some advertising on Facebook during the AFL website and Facebook during the week. Get down there if you're interested in your trophies and memorabilia. Go and visit David and Lisa at Awards Are Us. Ralston and Graham. Graham mistimed the jump a bit. Ralston the tap down. Halverson gets a shepherd from Joyce. Perfect handball out. Holcomb's dangerous at the half-back flank. She's been lethal today. Out towards Stelmaker again. Leading the way in front of Ferner. Can she step her? No, she can't. football out on the covers over there in the half-forward flank for Newcastle City. Cardiff starting to arrive in numbers, gathering on our right in their lovely maroon tops. Newcastle City over on my left, sitting here watching their women's side go at it. Wiggins tries to beat a tackle again, and she should be gone this time. Trying to beat, took too much on. Good tackle. Reed goes wide, far wing, looking for Simeonova. Joyce putting pressure on, and on a natural left, gets the arms up. Needs to get that to Halverson. Great pick up, Reed. She's been impressive. Ronan Yates waiting for the ball to bounce. Straight through traffic. Well done, Rosie. Good tackle, Wiggins, you're in trouble. Oh, that's just plucked away from him by Petticoat. Extraordinary. Take it off a teammate. Come over here, Kevin. Come over, chat on the microphone, mate. We're right to go with this microphone if we want to chat. Kendall, thank you. Come on over, chat, seat, mate. Taylor Joyce, going to be joined in a second by the great Kevin Greaves of the Maitland Football Club. Morgan. McDonald, dangerous sniping at half forward. Kicks it forward. Ferguson can't quite grab the mark. Ball coming up. Brilliant handball. Stillmaker, can she keep it in? Goes to Wood. Push the back, I think. Umpire Hanley in perfect position, and Wood will take a free kick. Kevin Greaves munching away on some frogs. And welcome to the microphone, big man. How are you?
I'm going very well, David. Pulled up well today.
Yeah, had a run with the boys in the Magoos, I see.
First run back for 10 weeks, I think it was.
10 weeks. I've seen your name named a couple of times as emergency at first, but good to see you having a run.
That is part of my contract.
And Joyce with a mark at half-forward flank. Kevin Greaves, of course, a long-time AFL board member and a great man up there. He's done wonders with the Maitland Football Club. You must be very proud when you see what kind of quality ground Max McMahon Oval's become. It's really one of the premium surfaces in the league now, mate.
Yeah, it's really good support from the council, and managed to widen it. Apparently the size of the MCG and the quality of the turf is fantastic, and hopefully some news about change rooms in the next few months. So looking forward to that. That's the next 6 seconds. I remember doing an interview with you a couple of years ago when we were speaking about the development of the ground, and to see the surface of the ground go from what Max McMahon was to that superb surface. It is a nice, expansive place. You can play proper football there. You can run and carry, and there's lots of room, isn't there? There is, and probably more space than the other grounds that are in the competition. And with a good surface on it, it means that our major injury isn't shin splints, so that's a positive just to begin with.
Indeed. It sounds like there's a chance we'll be back. We might be back there in late August. From the whispers I've heard, there may be a final played at Maitland. I don't think that's been confirmed yet, but there is a whisper going around.
We're hoping. We've hosted for the last couple of years in juniors and seniors, and we think it's a pretty good day down there at Max McMahon. Certainly for a growing area, a great showcase of black diamond footy. Indeed,
the final last year was Bacalus tries to pick this ball up. Still not a dangerous area for City. The finals last year were playing in an absolutely howling gale, and Maitland, the women's side, should probably have beaten the team that ended up being premiers, the Newcastle City Stars. They came home like a freight train with a force 10 gale from right to left on your screen, but couldn't quite get home.
Not quite on the day, and they're hoping to go one better this year and travelling along pretty well. I think the only team they've lost to was Wyong.
And Wyong's done the double on them, and what they may be in line for is a preliminary final with a week off as well. That's how well Maitland have gone this year.
Yeah. No, we're really happy with our ladies program, and Coach Chris Pedler has done a great job. But the ladies themselves have committed themselves tremendously to their football, so we're really happy with that.
McDonald tackled again. I didn't think she had Pryor there, to be fair. Umpire Hanley in perfect position. Good tackle, Graham. This is Graham who's got the football now. It's a second game of footy. She's certainly very tall, got a good jump at her, and knows how to tackle. So it's great to see new players come in the game. Here's one player that's not Neil Halverson. Her skills are just superb. And again, she's a multi-talented athlete. Halverson plays different sports at uni games for the University of Newcastle. Just a real athlete. Ferguson chasing. Here comes Cheyenne, new representative player for Port Stephens. Gets a good place. Played a couple of rep games at Ferradale at her home. Ronan Yates out here in the wing. Looking to position this ball. It just goes over the top of Wiggins' head. Halverson a chance if she snipes. Not sure he's picking up. Halverson does now. Beats the tackle of Graham. Might go check side. Here's Sarah. I reckon she's kicked out. Just waiting in Stats Baldwin. I'm sure that's a goal to Sarah Halverson with a check side kick. And he's Newcastle City 7-2-44. And Port Stephens 1 behind. Kevin, lost my pen there. Goal to Sarah Halverson. You enjoy having a run today, big fella?
It's good to be back. I had a bit of an injury from football, and then ended up with kidney stones and went through 3 operations with that. So it has been a long time. Good to be back on the ground because it's a beautiful day for football.
Just quickly while I've got you here, the development of the Maitland Black Diamond Cup this side this year, they've got better and better. They started off slowly, which is fair. We've seen them a couple of times. We saw a superb game of football a few weeks ago when they hosted Gosford, and they got the chocolates there. And you would think that at Maitland they're thinking if we'd had a reasonable start to the season, we'd be pushing Singleton and Warners Bay right now.
Yeah, we are very patchy, I suppose, inconsistent in keeping the same people in the side.
Yep.
We've got a couple of key players in Steve Doran and Jace Kennewell who work away, and they really add a lot of structure and knowledge around the park. Steve ex-Williamtown and Jace from the South Australia, and they add a lot of structure to us. So having them in and out makes a difference. But our juniors, kids with a lot of talent coming through our juniors at the moment, and we're probably looking at around about a dozen Swans Academy players coming through over the next 24 months, which will be sensational for us.
That's great to hear. Halverson, impossible angle. I thought Riley Newstead's been playing good football. Mitchell Greaves, who you might know, might happen to have a bit to do with, has been playing good footy. The Ruckman Taylor's been having a crack. Interesting to see Patrick McMahon playing a lot at centre-half back, and Patrick's coming. It's taken him a long time to get over that leg injury, but it's great to see him. Halverson, magnificent tap. If you watch the tap on replay, Ferguson hit her lace out running, and that's just great experience from Kirsty Ferguson. And, of course, Sarah Halverson in the right place at the right time. Superb. Newcastle City 8-2-50. Port Stephens 1 behind. But I think things are all going well for the football club. And it'd be great to see them make the 6 in the cup, because with the step up, they played a plate grand final, lost, won a plate grand final. And now just that's the way that Maitland's got to go, is keeping going up. And the women's side are going very well. So things should... the future looks good for the club, Kev.
It is looking good at the moment. If we keep key personnel around, I think it showed when we used, 63 players through our seconds last year, how much the turnover was.
Yes.
And how difficult that made the task for them. But being able to have a more consistent playing group, and certainly the work that Benny Stewart and Dustin Spriggs have been doing as co-coaches has been good in getting a few more players back, and just putting together a more competitive. I suppose a more competitive game plan that the players are actually playing to.
Very unselfish from Wood there, and Bacales finishes off. Very well done, City, but that last kick, Wood was not far out, but found a player in a much better position. Most unselfish. Goal to Ashley Bacales. The score, Newcastle City 9-2-56, and Port Stephens 1 behind. Keep going, mate. Sorry.
Yeah, I think in the cup, Singo getting over the top of Cardiff last week makes it very difficult.
It does. What you'll be hoping for is that Singleton also get a cop on top of Warners Bay today, and that Maitland get the chocolates over there at Nelson Bay. It's not without the realms of possibility, but Singleton have been one of the form teams in the whole comp in the last 6 weeks.
Yeah, and they've got some very good players coming back into key positions, which is helping them out a lot. We're hopeful each game we go into in our seniors. We took a very depleted team to Terra last week, and it was what it was, but we're hopeful in just about every game that we go into that we're going to be competitive, and a few that we have lost we probably thought we should have won as well. So we're growing, which is nice.
Yeah, it is. It's good. It's important for the league. In an area. Here we go. McDonald plays on. Megan McDonald! Waiting on stats. That's a goal. Lovely finish from the prime mover, Rolls Royce, whatever you want to call her, Megan McDonald. Newcastle City 10-62, and the floodgates have well and truly opened. Port Stephens 1 behind. Overall, it's interesting when a few years ago when the league decided to try and do something about the dominance of a couple of clubs in the cup in particular. There was an equalisation policy, there's player point systems, yet still Newcastle City and Terry Lavoca seem to potter along in both the plate and the cup competitions. The one difference in the plate, I don't think anyone's going to get near them. I think that they'll make the grand final. I think that they're so much better. I think Killarney Vale have got something to say in the finals. That Killarney Vale, I think, could win a semi-final, but playing a preliminary final against City of Chologovoka is a big ask, Kev.
It's a very big ask this year. I suppose through the development over the past few years, we knew that any equalisation or anything else would take a few years to start to take hold, and we know that. And certainly Terrigal and Newcastle still have a really nice group of juniors that are coming through their football. But it's about giving them the opportunity to be able to play at the senior level, and I think even with the spread of scores that you see, the development of some of the juniors at other clubs, if they stick with them, they'll see those clubs start to improve as well.
And you've hit the nail on the head there. If you can get the juniors to transition to senior football, which is the biggest challenge in football across Australia, that 16 to 19-year-old age group, Kev, in both genders, if we can keep players like that, then they start to be 100-game players when they're 20 years of age, and that's what you want.
Yeah, and especially for our satellite clubs, because there is an attraction of young talent that goes to university, both here and on the Central Coast, and that sort of centres some of the talent around, and it's pretty important for local clubs to be able to try and maintain local players. It's we want to see really competitive football, and a game that's got 10 goals the difference, but it's only 2 goals a quarter, is a competitive game of football, and that's what we want to see.
Casey Eacott coming down from fullback gets a lovely squaring kick from Wood again. Again, Wood being unselfish, and Eacott's got a shot. She's not a bad kicker, Eacott. To the naked eye, this is about 35 to 40. This will test her for distance. As I said, she's normally not a bad kick for length. Let's see how she goes about this one. She's got a decent bit of that, and has kicked a goal from fullback. Well done, Casey Eacott. And Newcastle City 11-2-68. Port Stephens 1 behind. Kev, thank you for your time coming up and having a chat. It's great to speak to you, and I'm glad that you've got, well, I wasn't aware that you've been unwell, but having a bit of experience this week myself with kidney issues, not nearly as serious as you. I'm very glad you're back out there having a run. Are you feeling better?
I am feeling better. I just had school holidays, which was fantastic because I managed to fit a couple of operations in, and we'll see how the body pulls up. See if I can make it back next week. My ambition is to play a game in the seniors with my 2 sons. So I keep putting pressure on the coach and hoping somebody will drop out. But class is timeless. We'll see how we go.
Indeed. And you're back teaching, you're back at your school again, that's great. So 5-5-5 infraction there, so one of the teams has got a warning for being outside the arc. I think it might have been Port Stephens. Ralston gets a tap out. Murdoch over the football, almost dragged out of it. Pennicott in and under. She's a tough player. Pennicott loves to tackle and gets a hard football quite regularly. She's a real role model leader at that club. Little short kick comes out from Wiggins. Simeon over in 45. Great tackle, gone. Well done, Taylor Wiggins. And in summary, mate, all the good luck to the side in getting into just squeaking into the 6 in the cup. And the Maitland women's side led by the 2 Sarahs, James and Burns, and there's a lot of other talent there. And I wish them all the best in the final series. Let's hope that Maitland can go deep.
Yeah, we're hoping that they'll go one game better and and be able to put on a bit of a show on grand final day. They have had a cracking year, our ladies. So best of luck to them.
That's actually a very good women's competition. There are 4 or 5 sides that can win it. And there's one of them out here today, and Maitland most certainly can on their day. And the reason that Maitland can win is that they can put up a decent score. 1 or 2 of the other sides in there are defensively minded. Maitland, not so much. Maitland they've got attacking forwards, and they can kick them 8 to 10 to 12 goals. Some of the other sides win with 4.
Yeah.
Maitland can kick a score, and that's a big deal.
Yeah, we're looking at 2 or 3 options going into goals, which is terrific. But you look at the standard of ladies' football, and all credit to the coaches. There is rarely a contest that the ladies aren't moving straight through and keeping going through, and their skills have improved out of sight. So it becomes a nicer game of football for them, and just a great spectacle for everybody to be watching.
This is the first year that we've called women's football every week, and it's a joy. It's a real pleasure and a privilege to call it just the development in my short 4 years with the league, and to see how the players have really taken the ball, and they love playing, Kevin. You can see it in there in just the way they play. He's a real quality. Ronan Yates is a chance here. Has a bounce, has a step, finish it! Oh, Ronan Yates, that's brilliant. Goal of the day. Absolutely superb, Ronan Yates, and that is a goal to Newcastle City. And Rosie, Ron and Yates, Newcastle City 12-2-74. Port Stephens one behind. Has a bounce, has a left foot step, finishes. Well done. Kevin, thank you so much for your time. All the best with the rest of the school year with footy and your recuperation. I hope you get to play a game with your sons. That'd be a real thrill.
It would be a thrill for them. Yes, it should be great.
Mate, thank you for your time. Lovely to speak to you as always. And look forward to hopefully seeing you in the back end of the season. Maybe even for a final up there at Rutherford.
Hopefully. Thanks, Dave.
Again, thanks to Kevin Greaves. Great to speak to the great man, and bloke I've got a lot of time for. And just quietly, who told me late last year that my father lectured him at Wagga, which is quite extraordinary. I spoke to my father about it. He said, "Really?" I said, "Yep." And and also Kevin Greaves' lovely wife I went to school with in Wagga Wagga as well, which is astonishing how things come around and turn around. Norton flying through the middle, needs to get rid of it now. She's run a full distance. Goes forward. Wood needs to tap that out the back to Bacales. Can't get it there. McDonald loitering. Now gets the handball. Megan. Watch her go about it. Squares it up. Stellmaker. Superb pickup. Finishes! Does. Lovely work, McDonald. And Stellmaker, a superb pickup of an awkwardly bouncing ball. Real spread of goals here. About 10 players have kicked them. Newcastle City 13 goals to 80 with a minute left in the quarter. Port Stephens one behind. Great thanks to Kevin Greaves for an elongated chat there, and good to see the Maitland Football Club going so well. Made the big decision a couple of years ago to put 3 grades in and go up from the play to the cup, and I think that's beginning to pay dividends. And there are some very good young players at that football club, and you just hope that they can hold that nucleus together. They should be making the 6, and with such a big growing area, we need places like Maitland in particular to be strong in our league. There's a lot of people live in that part of the world. It's grown so much. One of the challenges, of course, is there's a lot of people in the Maitland area and in the Hunter Valley that work shift work. So, as Kevin was alluding to, a lot of people working away in shift work. It can be difficult for footy. Norton gets a handball out. That's Ecott in there on the ball. Ralston. Ball right next to the centre circle, which today is off the cricket square. So where umpire Handley is the moment where that circle is just off the cricket block. And there is half-time. Newcastle City 13 goals to 80. Port Stephens one behind. Kendall and I will be back with you as the great Doc walks in. Hello, Ryan Stanton. And we'll be back with you in about 10 or 12 minutes for the start of the second half.
G'day, mate. How are you?
Great to catch up with Kevin Greaves there at half-time, and we thank him for his time on the microphone earlier as well. Newcastle City up by 79 points in this one at half-time. We'll go and refresh some scores for you if I can, and get you some women's scores from around the grounds. While we're waiting for the umpires to come out, we've got a minute or so. So, scores from around the grounds. Killarney Vale leading Gosford by over 100. Warners Bay up by 30 over Wallsend West Newcastle at Maryland. Maitland leading Nelson Bay by 60 up at Nelson Bay. Terraglowacre leading Singleton 67-0. And the closest game of the lot really is this one. Lake Macquarie and Muswellbrook, which is good for Muswellbrook. Lake Macquarie 63-39 and Muswellbrook 2-2-14. The other games look to be reasonably done and dusted, even at half-time, with Killarney Vale just rolling along. They're going to be so difficult to stop in the finals. They'll get a week off for a prelim, and then they're looking squarely at a prelim, perhaps in their own area. And they're going to be very hard. So I think they'll be here on grand final day. And right now, I think they're the favourites in this competition, the Killarney Vale Footy Club. And the people that put pressure on them, one of the teams that's got a bye today is Wyong Lakes, Maitland as well. They're the ones, I think, and this side, Newcastle City. It's all about the medium level players and the bottom six players as to who wins these games. There's so many elite players, but it's the depth that really challenges teams in that level. And Killarney Vale, especially with the recruiting of Ange Jones and Sash Edwards, Sunil Toker's in great form as well. Kelleher, the Pages, there's just talent all around the ground. It's hard to see them being stopped to get into the grand final. We're not too far away from the start of the second half here. Newcastle City are 13-80. Superb shooting. Port Stephens one behind. Kendall Clawson and David Ritten with you on Bar TV, making your game the main game. Cardiff and Newcastle City breaking from their huddles and about to head into the change room to get ready for what will be a massive game of Black Diamond Cup football at 1:55 this afternoon on Bar TV. Port Stephens broken from their huddle. Off they go to their positions. Newcastle City coming out now. We're just about ready to rock and roll. Great to catch up with Joseph O'Brien and Kevin Greaves earlier in today's broadcast. Real pleasure to speak to both of them.
He's there to cook for the others.
There's Newcastle City side. Some real good plays in all grades. Just about ready to rock and roll here in the second half. Umpires getting themselves right. It is rock and roll time. 79 points of difference. Newcastle City in front, and away we go for the second half. Graham, a left-handed tap down. Ferguson's onto the ball now. I didn't think it would take long to get Kirsty onto the ball. Holcomb, who's been dominant today across half-back. Gavin Locke. New beats the tackler, gets a kick away. Joyce picks it up one-handed onto that trusty left foot of hers. Stellmaker can't pick it up. Graham lumbers after it. Reed, who's got quite a few kicks today. Good punch out there from Ferner. Ecott chasing with Pennicott. Two tough players, well built, strong over the football. Good tackle, Ecott. Pennicott rides the tackle, gets a 15-metre kick away. And out of bounds it goes in the half-forward flank for the Port Stephens Footy Club. Just gone 1 minute in the third quarter of the second half here at number one sports ground.
Oh,
Again, get down there and buy your raffle tickets for Newcastle City. They've got some wonderful prizes in their big raffle. The major prize of which is a Toyota Kluger. Ferguson. Well done there by Horahan in the ruck. Reed, Holcomb at ground level now. That ball's held in and we'll have a ball up. Ball being given to the umpire now. Ferguson uses that large frame and taps it out right-handed. Stellmaker gets it out towards Joyce. Tapped on further to Murdoch. Got to get rid of it. Good tackle. Joyce will swoop now. Oh, good tap on the ground by Murdoch. Now there's an injury back here to Peacock. Let's hope. And play has been stopped. So Peacock is injured. And just wondering if she's got a slight knock to the head here. She needs to be someone needs to come and have a look at her. And is the umpire going to continue with play? Yeah, they're asking for her to go off. She's got a head knock, so she should be taken off, and she will for an HIA. Might not see Peacock again today. Players showing immediate care for a welfare. Good to see Holcomb. Now picks it up, still can't, puts her head over it. Pennicott in and under as well. She seems very skillful at that, Pennicott. Another ball up. Good tap out there, Graham. Joyce reading it well. Good tackle. They're tackling today, Port Stephens. I'll give them credit. Their tackling has been quite good today. Fitzsimmons gets a ball. That's gone 45 metres. Ecott sweeping out towards the combox side. Norton chasing hard. Players just come on here. She gets an awful bounce. Wiggins was sitting there on her own. Ecott comes and swoops. Good tackle. Pennicott again, I bet you. Yep. Does the 360. Could have been paid holding the ball. Umpire puts his whistle away. Norton out to Wiggins. Again, a poor bounce. And what's that for, a throw? Yep, I reckon that's what he's given. Free kick to Reid. Deep. This will go deep into Port Stephens' attacking zone. Marking contest. Oh, good grab. The Pacala's at the back there in 22. It is. Very good mark above the head. Had to be made, mind you. Comes wide. Looking for Holcomb and Wiggins. Wiggins in front here. Holcomb sitting at the back. Head over the ball from Johnson. Gets a kick though. Well done. Good tackle, Kirsty Ferguson. Going hard at that football. Scores there on your left on that wonderful electric scoreboard again. 79 points the difference. 3.5 minutes gone. Quarter number 3. Newcastle number 1 sports ground on Bar TV. AFL HCC women's competition. Joyce putting a tackle on. Ball spews out the side. And held in. Umpire says yes. No prior. Johnson with hands on the football. Couldn't get rid of it. Up goes Hurahan. Ferguson dumps it out right-handed. Joyce on a non-dominant side. Turns onto the left now. Goes to the handball. Rawson. That might be out of bounds in the fall. He's in front of Murdoch. And a kick will be taken here by Gabrielle Fitzsimmons. Marcus Delura in the house this afternoon. Afternoon, Marcus. How are you, great man? Good to see you. He'll have a big job later on today on the ball for his beloved Cardiff. Wood. Ball stands on it. It's in front of Lungy. Wood. Langy chasing. In comes Jobson in 42. Another good tackle there made by Wares. Good bump, Cheyenne. You really good football. Clean. Holcomb sitting at the back again. Dumps it forward. Halverson not advantaged by the kick. She might have too much speed here. Halverson, a good contest. Sock it away. Over towards Graham. Got to go. Does. Good kick. Great kick, actually. Really good distance and purchase. In comes Bacales at the back. In there is Morgan in 38. Umpire says he's plucked a free kick out, perhaps for Morgan getting a high contact. She did have a head over the football. One hand drop, gets it into the forward line. Chasing is Ecott. Oh, chance McLeod. Off the ground. And here comes City. Oh, chance again. Norton didn't get a good bounce. Got to get rid of it, does. Bacala's, that's a throw. Yeah, I agree. Another good tackle. That's almost a sling. And the umpire says, I'll have that. Wow, that was an interesting sequence. Port Stephens a touch unlucky not to be having a shot at goal. Hurahan in the ruck. Ferguson right-handed. She's dominant there at the moment. Holcomb a good tackle. He's really having trouble getting in control of the ball today. Rawston a good tackle. No prior. And we're 6 minutes gone in the third quarter. No score yet this quarter. Credit to Port Stephens. Away comes Taylor Joyce. Goes down the line. Halverson in space. That's danger. Left-hand handball. Finds, I think that's what Wood it is. Goes to another handball to Halverson. Good tackle, Sarah Halverson. It's a cracking tackle. Is that Pennicott? No, it's Lungy in 21. In comes Ferguson to win this, have a crack at this ruck. Gets it out over Wares. Wood tackled immediately. Lungy in there, strong player, good tackler. Reid, I've been quite impressed today with Reid. He's had a real red-hot dip. Holcomb, he's had a push in the back. Not paid. Holcomb gets up. Away she goes. Thumps the ball forward. Nice job punt. Who's for the ball? Cheyenne New. Left foot just gets away. Stellmaker. Over the football. So is Codire. Halverson. Graham gets a left foot out. Oh, she's got skills on both sides of the body. I'm most impressed with Graham. She's got a lot of ability. Norton might go back with a handball. Doesn't. Pennicott won't let it go. Good tackle, Norton on Pennicott. Joyce swings away, gets on the left, and away goes City again. Stelmaker just gets that ball, just does enough to get that ball out. Wiggins needs to get the ball to Stelmaker, does. Good upper body strength, Wiggins. Stelmaker needs to get a handball across to Wiggins, does brilliantly well. Stelmaker. Wiggins in the right place at the right time. Halverson might try and step it, doesn't. Goes to the left foot. Wamboozles everyone. Stelmaker and Wares. Wares gets a kick out, immediately picked up and slips by Joyce. Oh, that's over the shoulder, surely. And paid. Free kick, Mel Edwards. Goes straight away, just whacks up and kicks it straight into Simeonova. Give credit to Simeonova for being in the right place. Murdoch a tackle. Umpire says that's mine. 8 minutes gone, third quarter. Not 1 point kick this quarter, which is, again, a credit to the Port Stephens. They're digging deep. Stelmaker a chance here to stop that run. Kick comes out. Whose is it? Over here to Kadaya. And is that over the shoulder? It's an out-of-zone free kick being paid, and it's a free kick to City, to Kadaya. I thought she might have been contacted over the shoulder, and the umpire out of zone's paid that kick. And Kadaya's got a chance of kicking this ball from about 20 metres out. Needs to take her time and get her composure right. Just go through the motions. Pulls up left. Doesn't go the distance. Halverson attempt at mark. Stelmaker with her. Kadaya comes in again and follows through. Good tackle on you. She's in trouble. And umpire Handler says, I'll have that, thank you. 9 minutes gone, quarter number 3. Tap out. Here's a chance. Smothered. Just can't. They're just having a dropsy day. Well, it's just one of those days the ball's bouncing strangely. Halverson has been well held at times today. She's kicked 2 goals, as have Wiggins, Joyce and McDonald for Newcastle City. Tapped out. Graham getting better as the day goes along. Ferguson drops that one under close attention from Fitzsimmons. Ferguson picks it up. Goodness me, Fergo's had a kick. That's most rare. And she spots Halverson and gets her. Well done, Kirsty Ferguson. As on comes Megan McDonald after a 9-minute break at the start of the quarter. And Halverson's such a player that she'll finish this. And does. First goal of the quarter. Sarah Halverson off Kirsty Ferguson. That's Halverson's 3rd goal. Newcastle City 14-2-86. Port Stephens 1 behind. Subway Morisset is open 7 days a week. Breakfast, lunch and dinner. Trading hours 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Support local businesses. Subway, eat fresh. 86-1. So it's 14 goals to magnificent shooting from Newcastle City. Port Stephens game, but outgunned at the moment. Back to the centre. Graham and Ferguson. Graham's been quite good today. Let's hope she sticks to the footy. She's got a lot to offer. Up she goes. Just to Ferguson. Got to just use the body cleverly. That's one of Ferguson's best assets. She knows how to use that right shoulder. Ferguson swings out, looking for a sweeping handball, and it's brilliant to Bacallos, who drops what she should have otherwise taken. Wiggins, this time picks it up. Little short grubby kick. Stelmaker. She's away, Stelmaker. Goes off the wrong foot and still finds Gavanlock. Stelmaker's a really surprising play. She drops the ball strangely, but when she kicks it to the right spot regularly. Gavanlock. Good mark coming across in front of Stelmaker was Wood. And umpire Hanley's got the mark. Lungy's on the mark. This will test Wood for distance. We're at 11 minutes gone in the 3rd quarter. Wood. Kick from about 40 out, I reckon. Gets a decent bit of that. At the back, I reckon they hit the post. Andy Baldwin saying that's mine. I think he'll go across and touch the post here. Yes, he does. Newcastle City 14-3-87. You agree with that, Kendall? 87-1. Thank you. Again, our wonderful EP, Kendall Clawson. Showing you one bounce. Game today. Good kick, new. Good skills. Instead, this time, of course, commentators. Halverson on the fly. Not a better side in the women's comp, but beautifully picked off by Simeonova. Deep in defence. Interesting kicking style, and a drop short. Gavanlock took that too easy and dropped the mark. Good tackle. Halverson. Umpire says I'll have that. Devils number for City. 14 goals, 387. Port Stephens, 1 behind. Halverson in ruck this time. Well done by Wares. Good speed, Joyce, and good strength. Again, Simeonova picking off in slips. She's been quite solid today there in defence for Port Stephens. Might come Combox side. No, goes out her. Stelmaker on the mark. Halverson punches it forward, disciplined. Joyce at the fall of it. Lungy gets rid of it. Gets it to the centre. Dangerous. Halcombe swooping. Puts a lovely right-hand fend on. Goes straight down the spine with a reverse mongrel. And that gets Wood again. Wood this time's going to have a shot from 30 metres. The last one she tugged left. Needs to get a compass right. Wood. Straight up. Going to fall short. That's almost a mark. Back to McDonald. Does she want to get on her right foot? If she does, she's dangerous. McDonald squares herself. Off to the side, and that's hit the post again. Newcastle City 14-4-88. The stats will hit the post there. And Port Stephens one behind. Big cheerio to Lucas Holmes and Sam Zickman. Hope you both well, gentlemen. Cheyenne New plays on, has a bounce, has a second bounce. Gets to Wood and comes Combox side. Gets a good piece of that. Picked off beautifully by Ronan Yates. He kicked one of the goals of the season earlier on this year. After Jasmine Straits needs to come back to Ronan Yates if they can get it to her. They can't. Holcomb off Ferguson. Over there, Kadaya goes square. In fact, goes backwards. Gavin Locke a chance. It's gone 25 metres backwards, actually. Good bump. Ecott stays on her feet. Trouble. Good tackle, Casey Ecott. And the umpire says no prior. They're right on the cricket block in there. 13 and a half minutes gone. In and under was Gabrielle Fitzsimmons. Ferguson taps it out. Halverson. Left-hand handball out. Holcomb looks around. A bit too quick for Pinnacle on that occasion. McDonald loses it in the sun. Bumped out of it by Fitzsimmons. Excuse me. And another effective tackle paid to Megan McDonald. That's the third in this end in this game. Kendall's cameras will have a lovely good angle on this particular shot of goal from McDonald. In fact, she'll have a perfect angle. Andy Baldwin sitting there right in the middle. McDonald for her third goal of the match. 14 and a quarter minutes gone. Over to Kendall's camera shots. I'll say nothing. Tugs up left, and that's a behind. Newcastle City 14-5-89. Port Stephens one behind. By the time this ball comes back, we'll have gone 15 minutes into the third quarter. City have just kicked the one goal this quarter through Sarah Halverson. Cheyenne News got kick-in duties today. Immediately has that bounce. That's one bounce. McDonald comes and swoops at her. Over Graham's head. Morgan, who's been quite good today. Graham again, who's also been good. Ducked ahead of that, and the tackle's not held, and there's an injured player over here on my right. It's Wood. Norton. Halverson's off it to 45 degrees, unmarked. Still hasn't spotted her. Goes the other direction. Finds Ecott in the middle, alone and unattended. Takes the markers, Casey. Just off the edge of the square. Plays on, drop punt. McDonald worried out of it by Simeonova. Ball, quick kick comes out. Ecott's got a chance here. Awful bounce. The amount of ordinary bounces today. The oval football's playing tricks on people today. And umpire said that's mine, thank you. 15 and a half minutes gone, third quarter. Bar TV. Kendall Clausen and David Redden here with you at Newcastle #1 Sports Ground. One of my favourite places in Australia. Just love being here. Halverson. Interesting handball. Just decided that was legal. Graham, who's been one of Port Stephens' best, another thumping kick. Rawson's going to try and tap this backwards to Norton, who's sitting at quarterback at the moment. Can't get it to her. Thrown up in the air. Carlos comes through like a steam train. In and under is Taylor Wiggins. Gets a handball out. Just. Port Stephens again putting good defensive pressure on. 88 points of difference. Newcastle City 14-5-89. Port Stephens one behind. Ferguson and Graham again. Gee, Ferguson's clever with the use of that right, with her body and that right arm. She's been doing this for a long time, going back to her time with the Marina Lions. Pannicott, who's got a lot of kicks today for Port Stephens. Now, this isn't McLeod. That's McLeod getting the football now. Chance for Port Stephens. McLeod tries to scoot over her shoulder, can't. And out of bounds in front of Maddie Norton. Over there near the cricket side screen. Make sure you stick with us. 13:55, 1:55 p.m. today. Newcastle City and Cardiff in the Black Diamond Cup. Ferguson getting people in the position she wants. Holcomb's free off on right shoulder. That's who she tries to get it to. Just doesn't quite. Picked up by Ferguson, and McLeod's in and under. The umpire says that'll be mine, thanks. No one had possession. Ferguson and Hurahan here. Well done, Hurahan. Got that ball. Ferguson comes through trying to get a handball out. How is that holding the ball? Seriously. Kirsty Ferguson didn't have much opportunity there. Seriously. Anyway, Hurahan's got a chance at Port Stephens' first goal today off a dubious free kick. Off one step. Touched. Yes, it was touched by Maddie Norton. Port Stephens 2 behinds. Newcastle City 14-5-89. 87 points of difference. 18 minutes gone. Quarter number 3. On a lovely day actually at Newcastle on Sports Ground. Now that ball's got to go back for a behind kick out, has it not? That wasn't a goal. And he's coming back to Casey Urquhart so she can take the kick. McLeod's got to come way back on the mark. Urquhart will come to her right side. Marking contest. Bacalus gets a hand to it. Murdoch. Lovely, clever kick around the corner. Opens up Maddie Norton. Norton down the wing, using her speed. Short ball. Finds Stellmaker. Can Catherine beat a play? She can't. Gets a handball out in front of Jobson. Halverson on her own. That's dangerous. On the edge of the square. Away goes Sarah. Trying to find McDonald off the side of the boot. McDonald, a good tackle on Langy. Langy just too big and too strong. Langy gets a 1-2. Kicks that ball away. Well done. Murdoch. Can't pick it up. Holcomb in there. So's Halverson. Puts the tackle on. Over the shoulder. Decision given. Correct 1-2 to Pennicott. Again, Pennicott getting the benefit of being in and under. About 45 seconds left in the quarter. Pennicott thumps it down the wing. Oh, good mark! Real good mark, Anna Rolston. That's a cracking contested mark with a pack of about 5 players. Ralston, short ball. Missed by Wiggins, who's had the dropsies a little bit today. Murdoch, good tackle. Pennicott, I bet you. Yeah, it was. Now, Ferguson's in trouble here. I would have thought that was a better chance of holding the ball than the previous one, personally. Ferguson taps it out right-handed, opens the play up. It's going to be too late, though. Siren's imminent. That was a throw. Johnson. Graham gets the last kick in the quarter. So that's the end of the quarter. Newcastle City 14-5-89. Port Stephens 2 behind. So we'll be back with you in a couple of minutes.
G'day. And the umpires you can. If you want to hang around 1 sec, and I'll just make sure. under the club umpire steward. Yeah, that's good. I guess so. It's all good. Thank you.
Welcome back to Newcastle #1 Sports Ground. Port Stephens putting up a really dogged effort here today. And tackling and hassling, and that they've done a pretty good job on two players, Halverson and McDonald. They've tried very hard to shut them down, and they've been reasonably successful. Halverson's always one of the better players, and McDonald too, but they've done a pretty good job. And when they go home tonight to Ferradale, they should be reasonably pleased with their efforts. They've had a real crack. Haven't given up and have continued to put effort in and tackled and harassed. I'm impressed with Graham. I think she's got quite a bit to offer. A thumping right boot on her. Kendall and I will be back with you at 1:55 today for the massive clash, Newcastle City and Cardiff. Black Diamond Cup football doesn't get much bigger than Newcastle City and Cardiff. Kate Hanley's got the football. It's rock and roll time for the fourth quarter. Ralston back on the ball, and we are away in the fourth quarter. Ralston a double-hander, gets a Pelsey, get to McDonald, back onto the ball where she belongs. Gone forward, Halverson where she belongs. Sarah Halverson leading a race, just can't pick it up. It's just been one of those days today. Players have just had all sorts of problems controlling the footy, and trust me, the ground's in excellent condition. It's just one of those days where the players have just had a little bit of dropsy at times. Halverson would normally pick that up and shoot really quickly. One of the best dates for Halverson is she plays and thinks so quickly. Left-hand handball out, the left-hand touch out. Great handball from Holcomb, but beats Stelmaker and out of bounds deep in the forward pocket. And you'll have to join Sam Zickman, Kendall Clawson and yours truly, the big man David Redden, for the social grand final tomorrow at Pasterfield, on air at 2 to 3 at Pasterfield. Looking forward again to catching up with Kendall and Sam Zickman. Actually, good to have a great man on. Surrounded by a great man, it makes my job so much easier with quality people around you. McDonald, little short kick. Roden Yates on Graham. Graham's been impressive, one of their best today. Panicott, definitely one of their best today, but worked out of it by Maddie Norton. League backman. Playing alongside Kate Holland there at Pasterfield in the rep game. Ralston right-handed. Gets it out. Tapped out Pennicott. Got to get rid of it. Pennicott, she's in trouble. They've got every right to say she held that football. Umpire Henley wisely let that play go on. I'll give you credit for that. Out here to Hoffman on the left. Good pass, finds McDonald in the right place at the right to Mashiafinis. Goes to the right foot. Over Halverson's head. That's happened a bit today. Stelmaker. Again, the bounce of the ball, not favouring anyone in particular. Good strength with the hips there from Halverson. And a perfect delivery to Holcomb. Halverson's hands there coming to the fore. Holcomb goes short to Halverson. Ferguson up front, good tackle. That's gone over Gavenlock's head. She's got first chance of picking this up. Needs it, get out for the handball. Can't pick it up. Gets it out with the handball now in front of Terranova. She's got the strangest... if you look at Terranova's left knee, she's got the shape of a 6 on her left knee. That's kinesio tape. So I suspect she's got the kinesio tape is putting those knee ligaments into position she needs them. Ralston. This is going to go over the back. The play's wise enough to let it hit the ground. Morgan, left-footed. Halverson a chance, pushes off. Sarah Halverson! That's 4 for the great Sarah Halverson. Newcastle City 15-5-95. Port Stephens 2 behinds. Tyre Power, proud partners of the NCCUA and community AFL umpires across New South Wales ACT. Right now, and exclusively at Tyre Power, buy 3 and get 1 free. Selected Toyota passenger and SUV tyres. Catalogue full of big brand savings out now. Visit tyrepower.com.au or call 13 21 91 for your local owner-operator. 93 points the difference here. Just quickly around the grounds at three-quarter time. Killarney Vale up by 150 over Gosford. Warners Bay up by 60 over Walter in West Newcastle. Maitland over by 96 over Nelson Bay. Terrigalwaka by 95 over Singleton and 46-28 to Lake Macquarie over Musselbrook. Ball back in play here. Joyce puts a tackle on. Umpire Handler says that's mine, thank you. Ralston and Graham. Graham gets it down with the left, straight to McDonald. She sharked that one. Gets a handball out. Ronan Yates flying off the back. She's had a good day at the office today, Rosie. Halverson flying through. Back to Ronan Yates. Kicks that ball forward. Perfect delivery. And Stelmaker goes. Looking to square it. Oh, ball picked off, actually, by Ferner. Trying to find Holcomb. Most unselfish Stelmaker, but Ferner in the right place. Average kick. Wood in front with Gavenlock. Terranova makes a contest. Reed trips over her own player. Halverson for 5. Gets a tackle on her and just gets a kick away. Not 15. Holcomb! Misses. Newcastle City 15 goals, 6.96. Port Stephens 2 behinds. 4.5. I didn't think it was my phone. Kendall, my phone's on silent. Newcastle City up by 94 here. By the time this ball comes in, 4 3/4 minutes gone in the fourth quarter. But this doesn't look like Cheyenne New this time. No, it's Simeon over. Cheyenne New's over here on the left in 5. Kicks it forward. Gavenlock intercepts. Ralston at the back. The familiar tall figure, imposing she is. Wood a chance. Kicks it off to the side. Stats Baldwin says that's out of... No, it's not Stats, sorry. That's Shane Lowndes. We'll have an out-of-bounds decision given deep in the forward pocket for City. Kirsty Ferguson up, I'm assuming with Graham. No, it's not. In fact, it's not Ferguson this time. It was Halverson. Ferguson a chance at a goal here, looking for someone a handball or two. She's got a paddock. Joyce flying through the middle. And that's a behind. Kirsty Ferguson probably didn't realise she could have turned around on her right foot there. With Molly Simpson on the left running water today. Just a slight soreness in the shoulder for Simpson. Having a rest today, Newcastle City have the bye next week and she'll be back for the end of the season. Simeonova kicks that football down. Finds Ferner. Reed. Oh, good bump, Holcomb. Totally legitimate. Halverson looking for Stelmaker. Going to do it herself. Off to Holcomb. Can she get the poise? She can't. And in fact, it's out of bounds from 15 metres out. Newcastle City up by 95 points. Umpire waiting for the ball. The rucks to get in position. Ferguson grabs it out the ruck. Handball. Joyce on her left. Can she kick it? Smothered brilliantly. Simeon over. Wood pilfers. Wood goal. Well done, Simone Wood. And Newcastle City have cracked the century. Simone Wood second. Newcastle City 16 goals 7, 103. Port Stephens 2 behind. Bar TV Sports, the specialists in live streaming and broadcasting of sport, including the AFL Hunter Central Coast. Bar TV Sports, making your game the main game. 101 points of difference here. Ball being transported back to the centre. It's such a busy place, this National Park complex. There's football on behind us, netball behind us as well. And of course, Australian football on the main ground. Busy joint. Murdoch. Oh, well, good evasive skills, McDonald.
Rowan, you've got nothing.
Needle in a haystack stuff. Got through it. Simeon over off the ground. Probably wasn't wise. Wood drops it, I thought. Ferguson's going to give a handball off to Gavin Locke. Back to Halverson, who should finish. And misses Sarah. Newcastle City, 16 goals, 8, 104. Port Stephens, 2 behinds. We've gone 7 3/4 minutes in the fourth quarter here at Newcastle, number 1 sports ground. Kendall Clawson and David Redden here with you on Bar TV, making your game the main game. Such a pleasure to be able to call women's football all this season. I've had the joy in calling every game this year. It's been such a privilege. Ball comes off the side slightly. New's going to get there first, however. Steps inside. It's got to get rid of it. Smothered by Wiggins. Ralston puts a head over it. Nutmegs herself. Edwards. Left footer. Almost, yeah, that was smothered off Fitzsimmons' boot. In from Wood. Holcomb should have an easy chest mark. Needs to go back, Holcomb, and take her time. With a decent run up. Taking her time, working through and wide. She's got to kick this clean to get the distance. Holcomb gets it up in the air, and it's a goal. Wobbly old kick, but it went straight off the boot. Newcastle City, 17 goals, 8, 110. Is still very good shooting, although they were 14 goals too. And Port Stephens 2 behinds. Central Coast Physiotherapy Sports and Spinal Centre is helping keeping AFL Hunter Central Coast footballers on the field all season long. As well as providing the best in injury treatment and rehabilitation, they can also supply all of your tape and trainer needs at the best price, guaranteed. Ball back into the centre. Any changes? Emergencies out. I'll get that right. Thank you. Have they been changed on here? I'll do it. It's fine. Thank you. Yep. So just reading through that. Pat Delaney, Liam Gibson and David O'Donnell not playing today for Cardiff in men's. They're the emergencies. They're not playing. Wide from Pennicott. Reed. She's been good today. Some real promising signs, actually, for Port Stephens. You might think so. Oh, Rosen Yates. Awkward fall on her ankle. I bet she's sore tonight. No, she's okay. Been through a lot worse than that. Well, of course, having an ACL, Rosie. It's great to see you playing such good football. Halverson loitering here. Morgan. Good tackle, Joyce. Stellmaker in and under. Who's that in there with her? I bet it's Pennicott, who every time puts her head over the football and is fully committed. Strongly built player, Pennicott, and she really leads the way. Puts her head over the football every time. Halverson two-handed. Holcomb taps it away. Stellmaker sniping! Catherine! Misses from 10 metres. Newcastle City, Nelson, 1-1-1. And Port Stephens, 2 behinds. 10.5 minutes gone, final quarter. Away goes Fitzsimmons. Straight down McDonald straight, sitting on the arc. Yet another position for Megan McDonald. Ferguson goes over ahead. Holcomb loitering with Simeonova's trouble. What a superb tackle, Caitlin Holcomb. Hopefully Simeonova's legs fell awkwardly underneath her there. She's okay. Again, thanks to the Newcastle City players, including Kirsty Ferguson and Megan McDonald, for helping me earlier on the day with my vehicle. Had a slight problem here. I really appreciate their help and all the players. Very nice of you. Holcomb. Second goal in 2 minutes for Caitlin Holcomb. Newcastle City. Holcomb is number 23. Newcastle City 18 goals, 9, 117. Port Stephens 2 behinds. And Holcomb is up with 2 goals inside 11 minutes in the quarter. We thank our sponsors, Hunter Haval, Belmont 16-footers, ISC, Awards Are Us, and CFM 101.3 on the Central Coast. Hunter Haval, Belmont 16-footers, ISC, Awards Are Us, and CFM. Thank them very much for their support. Rawson, that looks like Wares who's gone onto the ball again. Rawson this time left-handed. Joyce flying through the middle. Left footer. Missed their Stelmaker on a much taller player in Jobson. Good tackle, Sarah Halverson. And I think she's got a free kick. Lovely work, Halverson. Her league and union skills coming to the fore. There, a superb tackle. Halverson looking at her options here. She thinks she's too far out to score. Goes to the three-quarter ball. Again, going over a play. Said, gee, that's happened a lot today. And Kirsty Ferguson's got a free kick here for being held on to. Ferguson's going to take this kick from about 15 or 18 metres out to register her first goal today. League best and fairest in 2016 in the first year of the competition, share with Lauren Cooper from Nelson Bay. Nice on your CV to have a league best and fairest. Ferguson kicked it. Well done, Ferguson. Nice little short, sharp kick. Does the business. Kirsty Ferguson's first goal today. She's off to play netball and 2:30 behind us. Newcastle City 19-9, 123. Port Stephens 2 behinds. The Central Coast #1 station for hits and old school is 101.3 CFM. Wake up with Gawny and Ash Polo for breakfast. Full of pranks, real talk and passion for the community and local initiatives. Start your day with Gawny and Ash Polo from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. weekdays. Back to the centre umpire. Hanley's got the football. Rawson's going to try and put body on Wares here, and the Rovers know it. Megan McDonald's going back door. Well done by Wares that time. Good win in the ruck. Morgan. No, it wasn't Morgan. That's Ferner in 11. There's Morgan now at the back. Ronan Yates, evasive as always. Usually a pretty good user of the football. Beautiful spot to Wiggins. Down on the right. No, goes to McDonald. That's a wise move. Megan McDonald straight down the spine. Holcomb. Can't quite take that mark. Comes in. Good bump, Caitlin Holcomb. Uses that shoulder really well. Halverson's gone forward. She's got 1-on-2. Can she possibly get the football? That's actually deliberate. Anyway, not paid. Real good case there. That was only intention was to kick that out of bounds. 14 minutes gone in the last quarter here. Newcastle City up by 121. Joyce! Brilliant, Joyce! Newcastle City putting the foot down in this last quarter. Taylor Joyce, another goal. That's her third for today. Newcastle City, 20 goals, 9, 129. Port Stephens, 2 behinds. ISC been at the cutting edge of designing and manufacturing apparel from grassroots to elite sporting teams for over 20 years and are proud to be the preferred apparel supplier of this 100 Central Coast AFL for the 2019 AFL season. So I've got to do a couple of changes there. Just again, Pat Delaney, Liam Gibson and David O'Donnell, who were the emergencies in first grade. And they are not going to be playing today. And we come back with you at 1:55. Rawson, double-handed, brilliant tap out. Again, the ball's just played so poorly today. It's just one of those days. Lungy. Head over the football. Got to give him credit for that. They've done it all day, Port Stephens. I bet you that's Pennicott. It is. Left foot up. She's been terrific today and a bit well beaten side. Over there is Murdoch. Over there's Peacock. I didn't think we'd see her back, but she's okay. Ronan Yates, not for the first time today, having a bounce. Second bounce. Straight down the wing. Perfect delivery to Stelmaker. And away goes Catherine. Kicks it short, as is her way. In front is Holcomb, playing it full forward this quarter. Runs around looking for options on it for right. McDonald. Quick kick forward. Good mark, Simeon over in front. Just sitting right in the slot. And picks up an easy chest mark. Kicks it as far as she can. Straight down Joyce's throat, however. Joyce, I don't think could get the distance from there. Goes short and wide. Lovely pass to Murdoch. It's a tough angle over here for Murdoch, but she is on the right-sided. see how she goes deep in the pocket here, trying to kick her first goal of today. Not a bad effort, and it goes through from behind. Newcastle City 20 goals, 10, 130. Port Stephens 2 behind. About 3.5 minutes left in this fixture. Newcastle City have a week off. Simeon over, and they'll get themselves ready for the final series. Again, the dominant force in the women's competition, along with Nelson Bay, for the entire duration of this competition. It's its 4th year. City have made the grand final every year. Last year it was they had 2 sides, and the Stars made the grand final and won comfortably, actually. After a remarkable final series, where they were very nearly beaten by Maitland in the first final. Came through that and then did the business. And their performances were superb. Halverson lost a lot of play since then, so they've just got the one side in the comp now. I think it's some of the players they had last year. Haler in particular is not here now. Braithwaite, gee, they could play. Matthew Synod went down early in the season. McDonald, he's another one. Very unselfish. Just falls short of Wiggins. Short kick coming out that time from Kodaya. McDonald, a good use of the hips. Short kick comes out. Chased by Peacock in 27. That's a throw. Rosen Yates. Halverson flew, couldn't take it. Morgan, short kick picked off by Joyce. Judging by her last kick, she's away. A bit too far for distance. Holcomb's been running it completely alone this quarter. And misses that one to the side. Newcastle City, 20 goals, 11, 131. Port Stephens, 2 behinds. Just the last 120 seconds of this game. We'll be back with you at 1:55 p.m. for the crackerjack fixture between Newcastle City and Cardiff. Simeon over with the football, deep in defence. Plays on. That's going to go out in the full, I reckon, and does. And that'll be a free kick to, is that Wiggins in 2? Yep. Wiggins, very tight angle here. Squares it up, unselfish. Goes over, the amount of times today that balls have gone over the head is remarkable, actually. Joyce misses, and it's another behind. Newcastle City, 20 goals, 12, 132. Port Stephens, 2 behinds. Just about a minute to go here. 130 points the difference. Simeon over again, down the left-hand side this time of the ground. Halverson, Stellmaker. Good tackle, Stellmaker. She's in trouble. Umpire says, I'll have that, thank you. Ruck contest being sorted out now. In goes Halverson, two-handed to Joyce, who'll want to get onto a left, does. Squares it up. Who's underneath it? Murdoch. Simeon over. Got a lot of touches today. Ralston should step off a left, doesn't. McDonald, a chance from there. At the back. Holcomb. Can't grab it. Murdoch hits the post. Newcastle City, 20 goals, 13, 133. Port Stephens, 2 behinds. And that'll be the last score of the game. Last 5 or 10 seconds coming right now. Morgan will probably have the last kick of the game here. Thumps it out wide. And there is full time. Newcastle City have finished this game 20 goals, 13, 133. Port Stephens, 2 behinds. With thanks to Kendall Clawson, my name's David Redden. We'll be back with you in 10 minutes for the Black Diamond Cup fixture between Newcastle City and Cardiff. See you soon.
Zach, you do it for me.